Welcome back to the shop. I'm Lewis, founder of Primo Tailoring and aspiring Gent, and I want to talk to you guys how to properly pick fabrics for your next garment. Now, in particular, we're talking about suits here. I don't want to get too far off the rabbit trail with overcoats and shirts. There's so many different ways you can go. I just want to be speaking to you guys about what you should be using for your suits and how you can choose your fabrics effectively. Now, when it comes to suits, I think you might have heard it already, but if not, it bears repeating. Wool is king. There is nothing better when it comes to your garments than going with a full natural fiber. Now, naturally, there are other areas in which like a linen or a seersucker or a cotton might be more conducive, but speaking generally on your suits and the garments you choose, wool is going to be your best friend. Now, there's a few reasons for it. One, wool is going to be a lot more breathable. It's going to allow you the most flexibility for multiple seasons. Two, it's also going to be more durable than some synthetics, polyesters, and even some linens as well. It's going to hold up for the test of time, and if you're going to be wearing it a lot, you're going to want that as well as the breathability. And lastly, it also helps reduce odors. Your coats aren't going to smell as bad as quickly because the natural fibers know what to do with those odors to release it. So with that in mind, I like to recommend all of my people to go to 100% wool as much as possible. Obviously, if you're a bodybuilder, you're jacked, you're gonna want something that has a little bit more flexibility, like one of these polyester blends that have a little bit of wool, a little bit of polyester. But again, if you can go for all wool, I say you go for it. A few misconceptions about wool, one being that it's made for winter only. It can be used for winter, as I'll show you in some of our fabrics that we want to demonstrate with you guys, but actually it's an all-season kind of wool. You don't need to use it in just one climate. It's not just a thick, heavy, itchy fabric, as many may make you believe. Another thing is that wool has to do with the super numbers. Now, if you're not familiar, it's a number set that is given with each wool fabric to kind of level it off in terms of its exclusivity, quality, luxury. And you'll see it as in like super 120s, super 150s, super 210s. That's going to be the fineness of the wool. It's usually also the thinness of the thread used, so it's going to be a finer fabric. I try and exclude those numbers as much as possible when I'm shopping, unless I'm looking for something very, very specific for a client. When shopping generally or for myself, I actually look for the gram weight, and that's going to be the thickness and the heaviness of the wool. It'll help you determine what season it should be worn in, and it'll help you determine how well it's going to lay on your body. So the lower the drape number or the higher the super number, so super 110, it's going to be really wrinkly, it's going to be really flowy and movie. Not one of my favorite things to pick unless you're going for a summer kind of look. And then as you go up to the super thick, it's going to be heavy. It's going to lay on you very straight because it's going to be heavy fabric. It's going to be pulling down. So keep that in mind when you're shopping. So let's talk about the different types of wool. First off, starting with your most friendly, your most versatile. That's going to be your 100% wool all season suits. These are most likely going to catch you in the 260 gram weight, 210, maybe even some into the 300 depending on your climate. But really that 260 is going to be that nice lightweight, but still very thick fabric to allow a proper drape to all of your garments. Also in terms of tailoring, it's much easier to work with these wools as well when you're thinking about buying a suit of some kind. From going up from there, where it's going to be our mid to heavyweight fabrics, these ones are going to come in around the 270, almost 300 range. You can see some of that here. Has more of that really thick wool texture to it. A lot of people, when they think of wool, they think of something like this, or even something in this vein, which is more of like a tweed. These are going to be your super heavyweight fabrics. These are going to be winter weights, fall weight, depending again on your climate. These are going to be closer to the 350 range in terms of weight. Now I know we said we weren't going to get into it, but if you look at this book here, this is actually going to be our overcoat fabric. Still 100% wool, but you're going to see really the difference between a 400 weight versus one of these 260s. It's pretty impressive to see the difference that those are both wool, but trust me, wool has so many different complex capabilities to it. So when you're thinking of wool, don't think of these heavy, thick, almost overcoat kind of vibes. It's actually going to be more in these 260 weights that are going to be breathable, great for summer, winter, fall. You just got to layer it properly. Now, we've talked about the wool for the all season. We talked about the wool for the heavyweight. Let's talk about wool for the summer. And I know some people may be blowing their minds that you can wear wool in the summer, but let me show you just how that's done. You have what we call here our tropical wools. And what's a tropical wool, you ask? Well, it's wool taken from sheep in tropical climates. So think of Australia, New Zealand. These sheep have a thinner wool coat because they're in warmer climates. Does not require them to have such a thick coat as you see with some of these Harris tweeds that you get from Scotland and Ireland where it's colder, damper temperatures. So what you get here is obviously a thinner yarn. You're also going to be getting a thinner cloth. These are going to be around like the 230 weights. But if you look through there, it's almost see-through. It's pretty amazing how that works. You can kind of see right in between all the fibers. It's a looser weave. Now, this is going to be a garment that you can use in very hot climates. Again, 100% wool. So really, it is really no match when it comes to wool. You just need to know what you're looking for. So again, some of the key features, know what season you're dressing for. If you're going for that all season, look for those 260 gram weight wools. Those are going to drape nicely, but also keep your body regulated in a better way than with something heavier. Now, if you're looking for something that's going to be more of a winter weight fabric, you're going to want to be seeking towards from the 300 range, maybe even moving up to the 400 range, depending on how thick and how much of an overcoat you want your jacket to feel. Like this jacket I'm wearing now is a very thick, heavy wool, and this is going to be perfect for the fall and winter that we're experiencing right now. So when looking for fabrics for the winter weight, you want to be looking around those 300 to 400 gram weights. Those are going to act more like overcoats, very insulating. Like this jacket here is perfect for the winter and fall months that we are in right now. But you want to be looking for those also. And then again, when you go to the finer wools, you want something with the looser weave. It's not really about the weight actually when it comes to summer fabrics. It's more about the looseness of the weave like I just showed you with our tropical wools. And that will just about do it in terms of our wool talk. Hopefully this was able to help you guys understand a little bit more of the properties of wool and why you would want to use it in your suit. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Otherwise, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.